Climate change refers to significant changes in global temperatures and weather patterns over time. While climate variability occurs naturally, human activities have accelerated these changes. The primary driver is the increase in greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane in our atmosphere. These gases trap heat, leading to a warming effect known as global warming. This warming impacts our planet in various ways. We are witnessing more frequent and severe weather events. Sea levels are rising due to melting ice caps and glaciers. The oceans are getting warmer, and their chemistry is changing, affecting marine life. These changes have widespread consequences for ecosystems and human societies. Scientists use data from satellites, weather stations, and ocean buoys to monitor these changes. They have observed that since the late 19th century, the Earth's average surface temperature has risen by about 1.2 degrees Celsius. While this may seem small, even slight temperature increases can lead to dramatic shifts in weather and climate. Understanding climate change is crucial for implementing effective solutions. It is a global issue that requires cooperation from all countries. As knowledge of climate change grows, so does the urgency to act. Addressing it involves making changes at individual, community, and national levels. Climate change has a profound impact on weather patterns around the world. We are seeing more extreme weather events such as hurricanes, droughts, and heavy rainfall. These events can cause devastating damage to communities. They disrupt agriculture, lead to water shortages, and threaten human health. As temperatures rise, some regions experience more intense heat waves. These heat waves can lead to wildfires, which destroy homes and habitats. In contrast, other areas may see an increase in heavy rainfall and flooding. Such events can overwhelm infrastructure, leading to significant economic losses. The frequency and intensity of storms like hurricanes and typhoons are also linked to climate change. Warmer ocean waters provide more energy for these storms. This can result in storms that are more destructive than in the past. Coastal areas, in particular, face increased risks from storm surges and flooding. Understanding and predicting these changes is a complex task. Scientists use climate models to project future climate scenarios. These models help us understand potential impacts and prepare for them. By doing so, communities can implement strategies to mitigate damage and protect vulnerable populations. Climate change affects not only humans but also animals and plants. Many species are struggling to adapt to the rapidly changing environment. For example, warmer temperatures can alter habitats and food sources. Some animals are forced to migrate to cooler areas, while others face extinction. Polar bears are an iconic example of climate change's impact. As ice melts in the Arctic, these animals lose their hunting grounds. This endangers their survival, as they rely on sea ice to catch seals. Similarly, coral reefs, which support diverse marine life, are bleaching due to warmer and more acidic oceans. Plants are also affected by climate change. Changes in temperature and rainfall can alter growing seasons. Some plants may bloom earlier, while others may struggle to survive in their traditional habitats. This can disrupt ecosystems as plants serve as the foundation for many food webs. Conservation efforts are crucial in helping species adapt to these changes. Protected areas and wildlife corridors can provide safe havens for animals. Planting native species and restoring habitats can also support biodiversity. These actions help maintain ecological balance and resilience in the face of climate change. Human activities are a major contributor to climate change. Burning fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas for energy releases large amounts of carbon dioxide. This is the primary source of greenhouse gases. Deforestation also contributes, as trees absorb carbon dioxide. When they are cut down, this carbon is released back into the atmosphere. Agriculture, particularly livestock farming, produces methane, another potent greenhouse gas. Rice paddies and landfills also emit significant amounts of methane. Additionally, industrial processes release various greenhouse gases and pollutants that exacerbate climate change. Urbanization and the expansion of cities lead to increased energy consumption. This demands more electricity for homes, businesses, and transportation. As a result, more fossil fuels are burned, releasing even more greenhouse gases. Waste management practices often fail to capture emissions effectively, adding to the problem. Addressing these issues requires reducing emissions and transitioning to cleaner energy sources. This includes investing in renewable energy like wind, solar, and hydroelectric power. Energy efficiency measures and sustainable land use practices can also help mitigate climate change. By recognizing our contributions, we can take responsibility and work towards solutions. Section 5. The role of industry and transportation. Industries and transportation systems play a significant role in climate change. Factories and power plants that rely on fossil fuels are major sources of carbon emissions. These facilities produce goods and energy that drive modern economies, but at a significant environmental cost. Transportation, including cars, trucks, airplanes, and ships, also contributes to greenhouse gas emissions. Most vehicles run on gasoline or diesel, which release carbon dioxide when burned. The growing demand for goods and services leads to increased transportation needs, further exacerbating the problem. Efforts to reduce industrial and transportation emissions are crucial. Many companies are investing in cleaner technologies and more efficient processes. Electric vehicles and public transportation systems offer alternatives to reduce reliance on fossil fuels. Regulations and incentives can encourage businesses to adopt sustainable practices. Consumers can also influence change by choosing products from environmentally responsible companies. Supporting public transportation, carpooling, and using energy-efficient appliances can reduce individual carbon footprints. These collective efforts can drive significant reductions in emissions from industry and transportation. Section 6. Simple actions for individuals. Individuals have the power to make a difference in the fight against climate change. Simple actions can collectively have a significant impact. One of the most effective steps is reducing energy consumption at home. This can be done by turning off lights and appliances when not in use and using energy-efficient products. Reducing waste is another important action. This involves recycling and composting whenever possible. Buying products with less packaging and choosing reusable items over disposable ones can also help. These practices reduce the amount of waste that ends up in landfills, where it can produce methane. Transportation choices can also contribute to reducing carbon emissions. Walking, biking, or using public transportation are more sustainable options than driving. Carpooling and using fuel-efficient vehicles can also make a difference. Every small step towards reducing emissions can add up to significant change. Finally, supporting renewable energy sources is crucial. Switching to green energy providers or installing solar panels can reduce reliance on fossil fuels. By making informed choices and advocating for sustainable practices, individuals can help combat climate change. Section 7. Community and government initiatives. Communities and governments play a vital role in addressing climate change. Local initiatives can promote sustainable practices and educate residents about their impact. Community gardens, tree planting events, and recycling programs are effective ways to engage people and reduce carbon footprints. Governments can implement policies and regulations to support sustainability. This includes setting emissions targets, investing in renewable energy, and providing incentives for green practices. Public transportation improvements and urban planning can also help reduce emissions and enhance quality of life. International collaborations are also essential for tackling climate change. Agreements like the Paris Accord bring countries together to set goals for reducing emissions. These efforts aim to limit global temperature rise and mitigate the impacts of climate change. Public awareness campaigns can inspire action and support for government initiatives. By encouraging participation and fostering a sense of responsibility, communities can work together to create a more sustainable future. Collective efforts at the local and national levels are essential for meaningful change. Section 8. Global cooperation and agreements. Global cooperation is crucial in the fight against climate change. Climate change knows no borders, and its impacts are felt worldwide. International agreements like the Kyoto Protocol and the Paris Agreement are key frameworks for global action. These agreements set targets for reducing greenhouse gas emissions and promote sustainable development. Countries are encouraged to submit national plans outlining their contributions to global efforts. This includes reducing emissions, enhancing carbon sinks, and building resilience against climate impacts. Collaboration among nations helps share knowledge, technology, and resources. Financial support is essential for implementing climate solutions, especially in developing countries. Developed nations can assist by providing funding and technology transfer. This helps build capacity and infrastructure for sustainable practices. Global cooperation also involves non-state actors like businesses and civil society. Businesses can commit to reducing emissions and adopting sustainable practices. Civil society can advocate for stronger policies and hold governments accountable. Together, these efforts can drive the transition to a low-carbon economy. Section 9, a collective call to action. The fight against climate change requires collective action from everyone. Individuals, communities, businesses, and governments all have roles to play. By working together, we can create a sustainable and resilient future for generations to come. It is important to recognize that every action counts and that change is possible. Education and awareness are key to inspiring action. By understanding the impacts of climate change and the solutions available, people can make informed choices. Sharing knowledge and experiences can motivate others to take action and contribute to global efforts. Innovation and technology are powerful tools in the fight against climate change. From renewable energy to efficient transportation, advancements can drive significant reductions in emissions. Supporting research and development can lead to new solutions and opportunities. Ultimately, addressing climate change is about protecting our planet and its resources. It's about ensuring a healthy and sustainable environment for future generations. By coming together and taking action, we can make a difference and create a better world for all.